People are continuing to leave California in record numbers. Welcome back to the All Things Real Estate Show with the Bald Brothers team. I am Aaron Zapata.
And I am Todd Anderson.
And we are, like I just said, the Bald Brothers team here at Impact Properties.
As we are, and you're listening to All Things Real Estate. And today, we want to talk about one thing. Real estate.
Yeah.
Which comprises part of all. And we want to talk...
Wow. Great intro, Todd. Yeah, I would love that. We've rehearsed this 1,000 times. Just kidding. These are like, we record these one take.
Yeah.
We do a couple of edits here and there, but just so you guys know behind the scenes things, it really is one take.
We really just say, what do we want to talk about?
We do.
Pull up a couple of articles and then...
That's to some degree.
Go.
We just know that there are certain things that we get asked about all the time.
Yeah.
One of them is, like, why are people leaving California?
Yeah, we get this all the time. In fact, the last few years, the majority of our transactions that are sales of every transaction is a sale listings, people who are selling their homes, are people moving out of California.
Yeah, they are.
Not all of them, but we have a lot of people moving out of California.
Most of them.
But most of them are. And the trend continues.
Absolutely.
Now, we've done episodes in the past where we've talked about businesses leaving California. Mm-hmm. We've talked about the tax revenue shifting from our state to other states. We've talked about this several times, but the stories continue. Yeah. And we've got a few articles we want to mention that we were looking at just before we started here. That's right.
And all the links for these articles that we're going to talk about today, they're going to be in the show notes.
Yeah.
And when we say show notes, if you're listening to this on the radio, you're like, what is a show note? It is the notes that we place underneath the show on our blog and on our YouTube channel. So
that's right.
Head over to baldbrothers.tv, www.baldbrothers.tv, not .com, .tv, where you can get all the links to our show.
Yep.
You can listen to this on podcasts. You can watch it on YouTube.
Those show notes, by the way, be on a podcast aggregator as well. So you'll find that there.
Like Spotify? Is
Spotify? Spotify,
Amazon
iTunes, or I guess you'd say it's Apple Music. Or
Apple Music.
I don't know.
Apple's
product where you listen to podcasts.
It's really popular, though, whatever it's called. A lot of people have Apple Podcasts. So, so this article that we're talking about, before we do that, if you want to give us a call, you have any questions about real estate, just call us at 833-305-BALD. That's 833-305-BALD. It'll be answered by somebody, and 24 hours a day, they'll take your name and number and a message, and they'll get it over to us, and we'll call you back.
Yep. The person who answers the phone may have hair, but the person who's going to return your call
will not. That's right. That's right. Todd or myself will give you a call.
That's right.
So the census data is out, and it's interesting because it came out like not too long ago, but it's for last year.
Yeah. We can't do the census data for 2023. We're still in 2023.
So
but
smart, Tom.
Last year, 2020, which would be 2022.
Yes.
Last year, the census data found that for California, the exodus continues. I'm reading this article from KTLA, but there's other articles that we'll link in the show notes as well. It says that the new census data released Thursday shows this, that in 2022, more than 817,000 people left the Golden State for somewhere else in the United States. Now, you have to also factor in people moving back to California.
This is like not the Hotel California.
Yeah.
Like these people are out of here.
They're out of here.
They have been here and they have done that and they are out of here.
They're out of here.
So before we give the numbers,
if they're going to New York, they're out of here.
They out of here. Yeah, get out of here. So 817,000 people are leaving per year. Now we do have people coming in, which you're going to give that number here in a minute, but the reality is companies continue to look for more affordable places to go. Mm-hmm. And I don't have this article because it just popped up on my screen real quick, but it was basically saying that even McDonald's franchise is considering their options because the workers at McDonald's make $20 an hour.
Yep.
And so they have recognized that per store, their average revenue is going to drop by $250,000 per store. And so that's going to eat into overall profits and the profitability of of McDonald's franchise owners. And, you guys could cry, well, that's poor McDonald's owners, they're all rich anyways. But the reality is that if they close that McDonald's, then all those jobs are lost. And
that's right.
And so when we talk about these kind of things happening, don't think that it's over there and it's not going to be here. It's not going to affect you. It is going to affect you, because as businesses have a hard time paying the bills and remaining profitable, which is how they pay salaries and payroll, they're going to leave, and those jobs are going to become those people are going to become unemployed.
Yeah,
So,
this is not a political show, but the truth of the matter is there are ramifications and repercussions for some of these policy changes that have been enacted, and this is one of those things that continues to affect even coming down to the real estate market.
Yeah.
Now
you're going to give this number, but before we do, and I've said that a couple of times, I want you to know these census people, they take their job serious. They really do. Like, I don't know if you've ever...
Yeah, they've come to their senses.
Yeah, they have. But they literally track down people.
Yeah.
I sold a property in Mission Viejo. The clients moved mid-year to Tennessee. You know who I got a call from? The census person.
Wow.
Not purple person. That sounded kind of funny.
Purple people leader.
Yeah. I got a call from the census data gatherers. And they said, hi, you sold this property. I work for the Census Bureau. I'm calling you to confirm that they have left the state. Because it was right shortly after they closed that they called. They just want to make sure, because the title records weren't updated yet. But they're like, we just had to confirm. And they're like, can you tell us how many people were in the household and why did they leave? And it was very basic information. And I'm like, they're really serious.
Yeah.
Either they're hunting down taxes or they're really just trying to, put in the numbers. And I think it was just the numbers.
Yeah.
Because, it was a one call. It was like a 4-minute phone call, and it was nothing more. But these numbers, a lot of times by person, are verified.
And I'm glad for that, because we
have a hard time.
We need to know we need to know actually the proper numbers. We can't do our job if we don't really know the numbers and where they are. So
what if I said, hey, why don't you sell that house for $700 and it's worth $900?
Yeah,
we got to know the math.
We got to
know the math is important.
Kind of important. That's right.
So without further ado,
hey, one more thing I think we should say before we continue this. Hey, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to the All Things Real Estate Show.
Where have you been? We have missed you. We have missed you. Where have you been?
Yes,
welcome.
Welcome. This is the All Things Real Estate Show. We are the Bald Brothers team with Impact Properties. You can call us at 833-305-BALD. And you can also go to our website, baldbrothers.tv, to get a hold of us and to find out more information. So without further ado, so we talked about the exodus of people leaving California in 2022 was 817,000 people. Now, we had 475,000 people that decided to move to California last year. So there's a disparity between those leaving and those coming, which means that there is still a net loss of around 342,000 people from California to the other states. Realistically, we lost 817,000, but we had people come back. So really for us, our focus in real estate is that 817,000 people who have left. But there's a net loss accounting for people who have moved to California of 342,000.
So interesting note is that on January 24th, 1848, that there was the
gold
largest,
rush, right?
The gold rush, right? It was they discovered gold in Sutter's Mill.
Yep.
And it unleashed the largest migration of people in United States history. And more than 1 million people flooded to California in 1849.
Wow.
No, that's not true. It's 100,000.
Hey, numbers matter.
I know.
Numbers are important for us.
Right. But it's interesting because during the gold rush, only 100,000 people came to California. And now in 1 year, we lost 817,000.
Yeah.
Now, net I know is important because we still gained more than, it's not a total loss. But $342,000 net, 342,000
people.
people net loss. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm converting people to dollars because it is money out the door.
We're much more valuable than a dollar.
We are. That's true. That's true. But it does mean that right now there are people that are considering moving out of California. And Todd, you've said this before. We've had a lot of clients that have moved out of California for numerous reasons, mainly for finances, also for policies, also for people.
Yeah.
We have the 5 Ps that we call them, just, going to people, policies, other things like that. But we just wanted to let you know that California's population is still declining. Yeah,
it is still declining. And there's a lot of young people that are moving out of California. And you would think that that would not be the case. It's a very popular place. Hey, we love living in California. The weather is great. There's a lot of things to love about California. But one of the reasons that young people are moving out of California is the affordability factor. To find a home under $500,000 is not easy. Well, it depends on where you are.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. In Southern California. And so the affordability factor is a main reason why a lot of younger people who are moving out of California. Obviously, there are other reasons that people are moving out of California. Politics always plays a role in that. So politics will either draw people in or drive people away.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things. But we've already talked about business, the business environment in California, all of these sorts of things. But
paycheck left.
Your paycheck has left. Yes, that's right. So what are some of the states that are drawing people, or people are leaving California, but they have to go somewhere? So where are they ending up? Where are some of the states that they're going to?
So we've actually got 2 different articles that reference this, but in general, not this. We're going to talk about the younger population. Where are the young ones moving to?
Yeah.
Like Gen Z, millennials, all those young guys. But most people, like, just when you close it all in, the number 1 destination most recently was Arizona. Second was Florida.
Okay.
Sorry, I take that back. First was Texas.
Texas, yeah, I was going to say. I think we're missing one. Yeah, Texas.
Texas, number 1. Number 2, Arizona. Number 3, Florida. Number 4, Washington. Number 5, Nevada. Number 6, Oregon.
That's a wide range, because Texas and Arizona, I can see, because those are fairly close.
Yeah.
But then number 3 on the list is all the way over to Florida. So that's quite a distance. But there's a lot of different reasons that are drawing people in. So Texas, why are people going to Texas?
Well, there's a lot of job opportunities there. We just know that there's a lot of companies that are moving there. Oracle's moved there. We've got Tesla doing stuff there now. We've got just a lot of industries are being attracted by the tax advantages and the low cost of labor in Texas. Also, land is homes are cheaper there.
Yeah.
Although property taxes are higher and weather is a little more diverse.
That's right.
A lot more extreme than it is in Southern California. We have like sun 800 days a week. 800 days of the year.
Yeah.
And so, what I wanted to say though is these young people. Where are the young people moving to? Because young people are the future income earners that are going to shape the states that they're leaving to. So it's important to know, if you're young and you're listening to this and you're like, where are all the young people going? They're not necessarily going to Arizona, to Florida, to Washington, Nevada, or Oregon. You know where they're going?
Where are they going?
Well, after they have visited www.baldbrothers.tv to subscribe to our podcast, they then do research online and they decide where are they going to go. They're going to say, I better call the Bald Brothers before I make this move. And so they call us at 833-305-BALD, 833-305-BALD, and we have a talk with them and we kind of go through all the options. And then according to the U.S. News and World Reports, they leave. And here's where they go. Drum roll, please. Number 1 on the list. Actually, let's start with number 5. Let's go backwards.
Number 5.
Okay, first of all, Todd, when I saw this list, I'm like, seriously? Seriously? Like, really? This is where the young people are going to? Because I had no idea. Like, none of these 5 were even on my list.
On our radar.
Yeah. So number 5, Nebraska.
Nebraska. Wow.
I don't know why.
I don't know why.
But it is definitely cheaper to live there. So if people are looking for the more nomadic lifestyle, just less stress, that kind of goes along with what they believe Nebraska to be. Right? I can live off grid.
Yep.
I can live in a tiny home on a big piece of land, maybe. Yep. I don't know, right? But Nebraska is high on the list, right? Number 4, Connecticut.
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 Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Again, I don't know why.
Yeah,
I
I don't think in the last few years you and I have had either. I don't think we've had any clients move to either of those states, have we?
No, and it doesn't necessarily mean they're moving there to buy there.
Mm-hmm.
They're moving there to live there.
Yeah,
right. Right. They're not necessarily selling a home here
Mm-hmm.
and moving there and buying.
Mm-hmm.
They might be moving there to buy,
Mm-hmm.
but most of these young ones do not have a home to sell.
That's
here in
true.
California.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
And so, but this is where they're going. They see job opportunities and things like that. This next one, many of you have even considered moving there. We have sent a lot of clients there as well. And we know that it is a beautiful place to live. And it's a great place to buy a house. And that would be Idaho.
Idaho. Mm-hmm.
So if you like your potatoes.
And I was about to make a potato joke. You beat me to it.
I did. We got potatoes for you in Idaho. Another great young place for young people to move to. There's lots of jobs there. Lots of industries are, growing there. Our realtor friend up there that works with most of our clients.
We've sent a lot of people up there. Yeah.
He is busy. He is busy with all groups, all sizes, all ages. They are flocking to Idaho.
If you want to move to Idaho,
yes,
we've got a guy.
We do.
We know a guy. But you know what you have to do? You got to call us at Bald Brothers, 833-305-BALD, or go to baldbrothers.tv.
That's right, because this is an all things real estate show that you're listening to. And if you are new here today, welcome. We hope you're enjoying it. It's good to have you.
Yeah. So that was number 3.
Number 3 on the list.
Number 3. What's number 2?
Moving on up. Number 2. Not the Old Hampshire.
The New Hampshire. Ah, okay.
Yeah. So they are going to New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't know. It's kind of on the outskirts of Washington, D.C., the whole East Coast.
It might be, yeah.
The hip happening, vibey area. I don't know, but New Hampshire.
Yeah,
it's calling the young people. They're calling. Come here.
And what's interesting about this list is you specify these are the young people. These aren't necessarily people who are buying homes. They will probably buy homes, but they're not moving for the sake of purchasing a property. Now, a lot of our people are moving to other states, and there are people who are selling homes and relocating and purchasing property in other states. But these are not. And we do have people that have gone to Idaho, but the other states not so much.
That's right.
That we've had experience with.
And number 1 on the list. Number 1 on the list, Todd. Utah.
Not Metah, Utah.
That's right. No, Utah. Not Metah. So Utah, have you been there?
Oh, I've been there. It's beautiful.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so gorgeous.
You've got the Zion National Park. You've got Bryce National Park. You've got
That's right.
St. George. You've got it's a beautiful place. What was the one place that we'd been? Cedar Breaks, I think it is, National Monument. Yeah, it's a beautiful state. Beautiful place to live.
It is. Shout out to, and this is because I stayed there multiple times, and I love it, the Zion Mountain Ranch Cabins.
Oh, wow.
On the east gate of Zion. So if you like the shopping and all the walking around in the downtown in Springdale, which is on the west side, you're not going to stay at Zion Mountain Gate, Zion Mountain Ranch Cabins. But if you like to look at the stars and you have one restaurant and like one grocery store that closes at 7 p.m., this is the place to go because you do horseback riding and you can just enjoy the quiet and solitude. Gorgeous.
Wow.
In fact, I saw my first Starlink satellite train.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. You shared a photo or
a video of
it.
I thought it was UFOs. I'd never seen them before. All of a sudden, I got 32 stars jetting off the horizon coming up at me, and I'm like, "What am I looking at?" I even videotaped it because it was so bright out there. And since then, I've seen it like half dozen times. It's like no big deal anymore. But that was my first time.
If you want an alien experience, move to Utah.
That's right. And I have a realtor in Utah as well, like up in the Sandy area, up in Salt Lake area. Happen to have relatives that live up there, and they love it. They've lived up there since graduating from Biola, pretty much, and with us. And so it's just great. It's a great place to live. Yeah, great place to live. So if you're young and you're looking up there, I want to know where you're looking to move.
Yeah, and something should be said about the migration of people to other states. Is it used to be, especially if you're moving for a job, you had to be right where the job was. But the nature of employment today, there's a lot of jobs that don't require you to be on site. There's more and more people today are working remotely. They can pretty much live anywhere. And so that has changed the demographics of how people are moving about the country. It really has. So it's, and especially when it comes to the younger generation, we see a difference between the younger generation and where they're moving and others as well.
Yeah. Now, one last thing here on KTLA, on their videos, it's scrolling through here as I'm reading the article. Google searches, which is people that are thinking about moving. So we've talked about, different ages and where they're actually moving. We've talked about where young people are moving and they may or not be buying a home. And now we're talking about the Google searches. So 4 searches that are at the top for Californians: Las Vegas. Californians looking at Las Vegas. Phoenix. And then Tampa and Orlando. Those are the top 4.
Wow.
Yeah. So, Texas didn't even make that list.
Yeah.
So those are people online searching around. What are they looking for? Where are they looking to move? And, Vegas has a new sports team as of a couple of years ago that play football there. They came from L.A.
Yeah.
Right? Now they're, I think they're getting the Oakland A's. They're going to move out to Vegas, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people moving out there. Mark Wahlberg left Hollywood and moved out there.
Marky Mark,
right? And so there's a lot of people now looking like, well, maybe.
That is
not so bad.
That is interesting because there is another article I'm seeing right here that says that the California to Texas pipeline is drying up. And so there might be some shifts. I mean, we're looking at 2022 data, but we might be seeing some changes in terms of where people are going. So interesting.
Yeah, we had, we had joked before we got started that that California should widen the eastbound lanes of all the highways because they are just flocking with people leaving. But I want you to hear this. If you're thinking about staying in California and you need to move and you need to stay near family and you want to buy a home here, Todd and I live here. We love it here.
Yeah,
and we do think it's still a land of opportunity.
Yeah.
It's a land of beautiful weather. We've got, mountains close by. We've got the ocean,
beaches,
we've got the desert. Where can you get that?
Yeah, and so I should mention, just as you said, we're not leaving. So and people ask us all the time, you help people.
Moving?
Yeah, when are you moving? Yeah, we get it all the time. But we're not moving. Our families are here, our businesses are here, our churches are here, our ministries are here. Everything. So right now we are here. We're not leaving, but we can help you. And we'd love to talk with you.
That's right. So if you are thinking about making a move and you just need to ask a few questions, we want to encourage you to call us right now. Call us right now because it doesn't matter when you're listening to this.
Do it now.
Our 833, which is a toll-free number. It's not 888. It's not 800. It's 833-305-BALD. 833-305-BALD. It's answered by an answering service because we don't want to miss your call, and they'll take your name, your information, and then we will give you a call back. And as an added bonus, if you call today, we want to make sure we send you a PDF version of our book, The Selling As Is, how to avoid a lot of things when selling your property, how to sell it fast for cash, and then other things to consider when you're selling your home. It's a bonus gift from us to you.
Yep.
And we'll send you the PDF version. It's going to be out on the Amazon website soon. It's going to be available for $19.99, and so it's a $20 value there. So we definitely want to encourage you to head over to our website at
www.baldbrothers.tv. And go over there, and from there you can get everything. If you go to our main website, if on the upper left-hand side you click on that, that'll take you to our main website. You can get our blog, a lot of extra information. But start right there, baldbrothers.tv, and then you can kind of go wherever you want from there.
And one more website link that we just added, you can go to getoffer.baldbrothersteam.com.
Say that again.
Getoffer.
Getoffer.baldbrothersteam.com.
And if you're looking to sell direct, we would love to make you an offer on your property. So give us a call today. Anything else you want to add here before we end?
I think that's it. And if you're listening on the radio, tune back in the same time. I think we're at 9:30 a.m. On the radio. But you can also get the podcast on replay. And so check us out. And
you can take us wherever you want.
Wherever you want.
Yep. God bless you. Thank you so much for listening. Come back soon. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to the All Things Real Estate Show. The Bald Brothers team is a licensed DBA of Impact Properties, Inc., licensed by the California Department of Real Estate number 01922-671. Again, we do not give any real estate, legal, or financial advice, and we do encourage you to seek the advice of the proper professionals. If you'd like to reach us, you can call us at 833-305-BALD, or you can reach us online at baldbrothers.tv. Equal housing opportunity.